Can you able to see the troubleshooting manual?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Just before, just now I was talking about how should a document should be correct. This is a document. This is a perfect document. You see the name of the paper. It is the name of the manual is given. Troubleshooting manual in the left corner. The top of the left corner, it is given as troubleshooting manual. And what the manual is about? A restaurant quality management system. And it has got issue number 1.0, issue date 28/10/2016. And how many pages it has? Page 1 to 7 it is there. And it should have the synopsis or so. During when you work for the industry in a catering business, these are the possible things, problems can occur when you start working in a hospitality industry. Like problem of spoilage of chicken. Second is vegetable gets shrinking vegetables, and bad smell coming from drainage, sticky under table, guest table or working table inside the kitchen, sticky table mat. If you dine in a restaurant, you nowadays you see you can see a mat will be there, So sometimes it will be sticky also. Why it is sticky? So we'll discuss. Then eggshell in food. When you take some omelette or egg, sometimes eggshell will also come in the omelets. So how to overcome these problems? Then food poisoning. Why the food poisoning is happening? Cross contamination. How cross contamination happens? And white patches in cutleries. When you dine, they keep fork, spoon, plate. Sometimes there will be some white patches. So how those things comes? And white patches on SS table in kitchen, rusting inside the water tanks, patches and sand, bits on sofa, flower, maybe pieces of flowers on sofa, raw food or undercooked food. Sometimes it comes raw, even though they cook. Sometimes some customer gets undercooked or raw food, worms in food, dusty top racks, rancid smell in food, floor damages, food stain on table mat, fishy smell in water glass, garlic or ginger smell in juices, blood smell in juice, chicken pieces in veg salad, slimy layer in mixie, back of the the mixie jar. You can see a bush is there. If you invert the mixie jar, there will be some slimy layer will be there. So the next is black patches in exhaust hoods, rust on reverse side of the cutting table, foul smelling cloth. So these are the problems, repeatedly it will come when you go work in a hospitality industry. So let us see one by one. Spoiled chicken. Chicken gets spoiled on these 6 possible causes. Maybe other causes will be there, but mainly on these 6 points, chicken goes spoiled. Maybe the chicken transported after slaughtering 2-3 hours after, when it is served to the restaurant or the restaurant kitchen, it may go spoil. It may give smell. Chicken exposed to direct sunlight during transport from vendor to restaurant, overload of freezer. For example, you know, in many restaurant, in many restaurant, they use freezer. What you see in a ice cream shop. You know the ice cream which is stored under the freezer. What the temperature it should have? Guys, can you tell what the temperature it should have when the ice cream is stored in the freezer?
-18, sir.
Very good. So because that type of freezers, ice cream freezers gives -18 degree centigrade, it is widely used for storing foods in many restaurants, and it is successfully done also. But thing is, if it is overloaded, if you open the freezer, you can see a blue line inside the freezer from the top, maybe some 3 to 4 inches down. There will be a blue line saying that don't store above this. Means if somebody stores above that blue line, means they are over dumping. When it is over dumping, the food is the chicken or some food is over dumped inside the freezer, there will not be uniform chilling or freezing happening in the chicken. Because of uniform freezing or chilling is not happening, the food will go spoil. The chicken will go spoil. You know what is danger zone? Anybody know what is danger zone? I want.
Yes, the favorable condition where the organism grows rapidly.
The favorable temperature at which the organism goes is not danger zone for organism, but danger zone for food. Correct?
Yes, sir. For food, it is a danger zone.
You should talk like a food microbiologist, not like a medical microbiologist. You are again supporting the bacteria microorganism. You should talk in respect of the food. Danger zone is a zone where the food is kept above 5 degree, below 60 degree. If the food is kept within this temperature, then the food is under danger zone. Then whatever you told, no, the bacteria will grow. It will grow in this danger zone only. So it has to be kept below 5 degree and above 60 degree. The food will be safe. Simple. Correct? So when this freezer is overloaded, when these freezers are overloaded, the food will not get below 5 degree. So it will be above 5 degree. That means the food is in Tambaram, Mylapore. Let me see who tells where it is. Hello?
Danger zone, sir.
Danger zone, sir.
What is that?
The food is in the danger zone.
Correct. Very good. It is danger zone. So if it is in danger zone, if you serve this to your customer, the customer will start get fever, food poison, loose motion, headache, and whatever we can say that will happen to him. So instead of paying some 1,000 rupees after eating your food, he will go and pay to the doctor at least 3,000 to 5,000 rupees to get a IV injection, IV trips, and get admitted for a day or two and get well. Then we'll say that get well soon. Correct. So the chicken goes spoilage when we overload freezer. So I was telling about documentation. You remember, it's a process of recording the monitoring activity. Documentation is nothing but a process of recording the monitoring activity. The number fourth point, power failure. when the power is failed, if anybody not monitor the freezer, not monitor the chiller, if the power goes failure, then the current will go, that the cold room will go off, the temperature of the cold room will increase, again the food is moved to danger zone. So when we train a people who receive, and we will ask them to document the temperature of the food at the receipt and at the storage. So we should have a chart displaying at the entrance of the cold room or at the freezer and in the receipt area, saying that with in a correct frequency, maybe in once in 2 hours or 3 hours, one guy should go and see the digital temperature and physically check the temperature of the food which is lying inside the cold room, and note it and record it on the paper which is displayed or pasted in the entrance of the cold room or the freezer. So when someone does this, so somebody will go once in 2 hours or once in 3 hours to go and see whether the cold room is working or not working. This problem, if even the power gets failure, then the guy or the responsible person will come to know that the freezer is not working. Now we have to move the chicken or the food which is lying inside the cold room to safer zone, because it is moving to the danger zone. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Same thing applies. Documentation procedure and training the staff applies for 4th, 5th, and 6th point. So these are the 6 points. Nail leads the food or the raw meat to get spoiled. So I'm moving to second point. Let me ask you, do you have any, because these things will never come in your books. I'm just sharing my experience. You have anything to say? You have any doubt? No doubt?
No doubt, sir.
No doubt. So we should have backup for power failure. I just typed it. Are you all able to see that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we should have backup for failure, any failure, power failure. So we'll have the generators, correct? The generator should get on itself within 10 seconds of power failure. This is the thumb rule for food safety. Got my point? You got my point?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, when the power goes, the generator should on automatically within 10 seconds. This is the standard thumb rule in food safety. So when you go and implement ISO 22000 in the hospitality industry, this will be a main point, because your cold room, your freezer are the heart for the food safety. Okay, so we'll go to vegetable ring. Why the vegetables get shrink? One may be not checked during receiving, dried to FIFO, not followed. See, I think in the previous training, Mr. Binu showed you. There was a cage grilled cage where the vegetables are dumped. He was showing in his presentation, correct? You remember there was a bottom. Let me see. I have this. I have. I think. Let me. Are you able to see some new one? Vegetable washing heading.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I just want to show you. Yeah. The left you see onions are stored in the cage, correct?
Yes, sir.
Same thing Mr. Binu showed in the front shot. He showed in the front shot. In this type of onion cages will have a door in the bottom, because when we procure onion from the market, restaurants procure onions maybe 25 kg, 50 kg, and they dump in this cage. Maybe they will not wait till it gets over. Within 2 or 3 days, another 50 kg they will get. They will put on this same onion, because there will be a place constraint. And if you put in this type of cages, and in this type of cages there is a bottom door where you can draw the onions, so the FIFO can be followed. For example, Monday you got 50 kgs. First you dump in these cages, and in Thursday again you got in 50 kgs and you dump. Totally now there will be 100 kgs. The 50 kg what you have dumped, it will be in the bottom. So that will be taken first. After then the Thursday one, whatever you have got, 50 kg, that will be taken the next. The FIFO will be followed systematically. So these are if these things are not followed, in case of onion, in case of capsicum, in case of beans, in case of mushroom, so in lot of perishable vegetables, spring onions, okay. So what happens is it will go shrink because of loss of moisture. It will go shrink. So FIFO will help to maintain this. One second. One second. So if FIFO is not followed, the vegetables go shrink. And dry to exposure to high temperature in the kitchen, prolonged storage in direct sunlight. So when vegetables are not fresh, the taste will go different, and they go towards spoiling stages. So again, it may get spoiled. Bad smell from drainage is a third point. Maybe a blockage. All vegetables and operational waste dumped into drainages. Drainage cleaning not done on daily basis. The second point is the main point. All vegetables and operational waste dumped into drainages, because if the kitchen staff is not provided with dust bin, where they will put it, they will put on the drainages. they will put on the floor. When the hygiene team come and sweep, it will dump into the drainage. So ultimately, the drainage will get blocked and smelling will start. So dustbin for each section is very, very important. Like, now India is moving towards Swachh Bharat. Sticky under tables are not washed after closing. You know what happens? Sometimes maybe the business goes at maybe at 1 o'clock or maybe at 2 o'clock also. Some people have 24 hours delivery. So after the night, the people goes very tired, and they will humans, not a machine, it's a human body, it will get tired, and they will relax on cleaning. The next morning when they come, maybe they will get forget, and the table will be very sticky. The table mat, fifth point also same thing, table mat may be sticky. For these things only I told in the presentation, the microbiologist is not a job confined only to the laboratory. They should have a routine check where these points has to be included in the list and should start checking. Once you start checking, you will be the boss of the unit. Some complaints like eggshell in food. When they put omelette, when the eggshell will go along with the omelette, with the egg. So when the guest gets the eggshell when eating, it will not be the good experience of eating a food. So using a filter will block the eggshells getting into the food. Seventh point is the food poisoning. Improper hand washing after toilet use. Washing facility has no water, sanitizer, disposable towel, staff illness, undercooked foods, staff lack of food safety training. So these are the main problems. These are the main problems which will lead to food poisoning. Of course, again the first point, whatever we discussed, no, the chicken gets spoiled. These points also cause the 1 to 6 points also cause the food or the chicken or the meat or the vegetables causing food poison. Cross contamination. Can anybody tell what is cross contamination? Hello?
Contamination of food from another food or from the food handlers or the materials, like the food getting contaminated through any means, basically.
Yeah. Okay. Let me put in another way, saying that voluntarily or involuntarily, தெரிஞ்சும் குடிச்சாலும் விஷம் தான், தெரியாம குடிச்சாலும் விஷம் தான். கரெக்டா?
Yes.
Correct தானே?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So by means of voluntary or involuntary, the contaminants getting into a non-contaminate place, non-contaminate food, it's a cross contamination. For example, the chef cooks the food at 100 degree. Take vegetable biryani. When water boils, they put rice, correct? When water start boiling, we put rice, correct? For making rice or veg biryani or any food, correct? Correct? Tappa. Hello?
Yes, sir. Correct, sir.
So water boils at 100 degrees centigrade. Now all the has got killed. Now the food, whatever we have prepared, it is almost near to the sterilizing temperature, 100 degree. Now the food is very safe. If a person comes without washing hand, he has a bacteria in his hand, voluntarily or involuntarily, if he touches the non-contaminated food, he is introducing a new bacteria to the food. This is cross contamination. So unhygienic practices like veg and non-veg kept along in same freezer, like French fries in non-freezer, like curd kept in non-veg freezer, veg and non-veg, because veg is, it's not blood stained, but non-veg blood stained, should not be kept in the same freezer or one on above one. It should not be kept together. Second point is improper washing of hands after using toilets, eating or smoking. Cutting board color code not followed. You know what is cutting color board? Cutting board color code. What is no? You know what is cutting board? Do you know what is cutting board? Hello? Hello? Do you know what is cutting board?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know the color code of cutting board as led by FSSAI? Jabran is there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me who is there?
So non-veg meats should be used like a separate knife and cutting board for meats, and for vegetables
I
separate.
want to tell the color code of the
Color.
cutting board.
Okay.
Color.
1 second, sir.
Sir, red is for meat,
Ah,
and green is for vegetables and salads, and blue is for seafoods,
ah.
and white is for bakery products,
Milk products.
and milk products,
Avrudana?
and brown is for cooked foods.
Brown is what?
Cooked foods.
Raw foods. Raw foods.
Raw.
அப்போ yellow எதுக்கு யூஸ் பண்ணுவாங்க?
Ready to
Yellow.
cook the
Ready
foods.
to eat.
Yellow.
Yellows. Ready to eat cooked foods only, sir.
Yellow. Manjal color.
Adha, sir. Ready to eat cooked foods, yellow color.
எங்க பார்த்து சொல்றீங்க? Okay, let me tell you. Okay. Assorted red is for raw meat. கவனமா கேட்கலாமா? Red is for raw meat. Blue is for seafood. Yellow is for cooked food. Brown is for, FSSAI has revised this color coding and introduced a new color code called brown cutting board. This is for cutting unwashed vegetables and for gravy vegetables. Green is for vegetables which is used for salads and fruits cutting. White is for dairy products. Over. You have any doubt in this? Do you have any doubt in this?
No, sir.
நான் இங்க டைப் பண்றேன் பாருங்க. Yellow, green, brown, white. Jabran is there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now they have revised, Jabran. Grain
Yes,
is
sir.
no more only for vegetables. Grain is for students. Just listen. Grain is for salad consuming vegetables and fruits. They have just categorized vegetables into two. One is cutted in brown, one is cutted in green. Because green, they cut only salad vegetables because it is like a ready to eat food. There will not, the definition for ready to eat food. The definition of ready to eat food is it has no more, after cutting, it has no more processing like heating, frying, or any other mode of preserving. It is when it cut, it is intended for consumption immediately. So to avoid cross contamination, to avoid the reduction of to avoid the load of microbes and reduction of microbes and getting contaminants entering into the ready to eat food which has not got any other mode of treatment like heat or chill or cold or any mode of preservative, is allotted specially to take care specially this cutting board green color. Okay. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So the fourth point is improper daily weekly sanitation. When we say a kitchen is sanitized, sanitation has different type of sanitation. One is daily, one is weekly, another is fortnightly, another is monthly, another is once in 3 months. All this has to be planned by a microbiologist only. Plant sanitation has to be planned by the microbiologist only. Daily cleaning is done routinely. Weekly sanitation of all the equipments in the kitchen has to be cleaned and sanitized with special detergents, which will reduce or remove high grease particles or materials sticking under or in the reverse side of the equipments. Puriyarda? I told daily
Yes,
is routine, weekly is done with a special type of sanitation detergent, which will remove high greasy, because they put oil for frying. This oil will go and sit on the hoods. This food may be, fall in backside of the ranges, tables, and sometimes there will be in the reverse side of the tables, there will be, spillages. These things will be, very greasy and very slimy, and this will not go in a normal soap solution. It has to be treated with a specialized detergents recommended by, like, Ecolab is there, Unilever is there. These are the companies which offers good and food grade detergents for daily and weekly sanitation and removing the high grease materials. So one is, I told, daily, weekly, and fortnightly. Fortnightly, we need to plan fortnightly. What are the things has to be sanitized fortnightly, monthly, once in 3 months, like, overhead tanks has to be cleaned once in 3 months, and it should be chlorinated. Okay. So fifth point is chlorination not done for vegetables and chicken. Chlorination, what is the ppm?
100 to 200, sir.
100 ppm is for non-veg. 50 ppm is for veg.
Which
Yeah. So you know how it is calculated? What is ppm?
parts
Yeah.
per million.
Good. how it has to be calculated. Okay, ma. Suppose you want to make 50 ppm in a 500 liters of water. Water capacity is 500 liter, and what you need is 50 ppm. Okay. You know what is the strength of this chlorine solution available in the market? It is 5%. So you need to convert the percentage into ppm. So if you convert 5% into ppm, it is 50,000. So then you will get some number here saying that, I'm just saying, யாராவது calculator வச்சிருக்கீங்களா? You have any calculator over there? Can you tell how much it is? Can anybody tell how much it is? 500 into 50, 25,000 divided by 50 equal to 0.5.
1/2.5, sir.
0.5 வருதாமா?
Yes, sir.
0.5 திருப்பி என்ன பண்ணணும்? Again you have to multiply into 1000. எவ்வளவு வரும்?
500.
500. If you take 500 ml of chlorine solution and put it in 500 liters of water, you will get 50 ppm of chlorine. You got the point? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I want to tell something, you know. Okay, I got it. So, you know, we are telling chlorination, chlorine solution. What is the correct name for that? Anybody knows what is it? What is it? Chemical name? Chlorine கொடுங்க அப்படின்னு படிக்காதவங்க கேட்கலாம். We are all graduates. What we have to tell? Sodium hypochlorite. Okay. So now again go to documentation. When you receive chlorine, it should accompany with MSDS sheet. Any chemical when you receive, like detergents, chlorine, acid, it should accompany, even the pesticides, it should accompany with MSDS sheet, material safety data sheet. What it contains is, it contains what are the proper method to store, or if any hazard happens, how to handle, and what is the strength of the chemical, and how to store it. These are the information will be available in the MSDS solution, MSDS sheet. So when you receive chlorine, you should also receive MSDS sheet. So if there is a chicken storage problem, again, you know, 7th point refer about chicken spoilage. So all these points 1 to 7 will cause cross contamination. I will spare it, ma. Sorry, I'm taking more time. I will spare it. White patches in cutlery, because you know, if the soap oil is not used at 1:5 ratio, or as per the manufacturer recommendation, or if the water is if the water is very hard, then it will, there will be a water stains on the cutlery, and when the guests dine, they will feel the cutlery, it is not new, it is a very old, and they have not cleaning properly, hygiene is not good. So all these thoughts will come in the guest mind, and they will never turn up to uh, uh, the and they will never turn up to dine. So the business will go down. So 10th point, white patches on SS table in kitchen, same thing, same thing. 11th is rusting inside the water. In restaurant they give water. Most probably, nowadays they're giving the water bottle, but in many restaurants they give in a water. They will come and they will have a jar and they will pour in the glass. They take this water into the jug from a water cooler. That water cooler, is made up of SS. If you open and see the SS tank, if it's not properly sanitized, cleaned and sanitized, the rusting will be happened inside the water tank. That may cause problem for the guest and for us also. And even in summer, water tanks comes and dump the water in the sump, restaurant sump or hotel sump. So the tank, the inside the tank, there should not be rusted. If rusted is happening in the tank, lorry tank, inside the lorry tank, the water will again get contaminated. So patches and sand floor beds of sofa, because in Sundays, people go to beaches, and wherever they want, they go, they come to a restaurant, they dine, they go to home. If the restaurant doesn't, they will carry sand, they have flour, when they sit and dine, maybe this sand, maybe the flour pieces will fall on the sofa. If it is not cleaned in the night routine cleaning, these sand and flour bits will be on the sofa in the next day also. These are the indication that the routine cleaning is not taking care. Raw food or undercooked food. Possible causes are temperature SOP not followed. What is the temperature SOP? Any food, it should be heated above 75 degrees centigrade, and core temperature not checked. What is core temperature? Do anybody knows what is core temperature? What is core temperature? Hello? Hello? What is core temperature? Satya? Subhashni? Swati? Vasant?
So the exact temperature at which the food is either stored or is the correct temperature the food is cooked. Like for example, if the correct temperature, core temperature for the cooked food is 70 degrees Celsius, 72. So that is the core temperature, sir.
No, ma. Actually, the thickest part of the food, should reach the temperature what you said, no? The thickest part. For example, if you take one what I can say, let me give you an example of chicken. It is a flesh. It should be the temperature should be seen at the thickest middle part of the flesh. If the thickest middle portion shows 74 degrees centigrade, then the temperature has reached the full flesh. The core is nothing but the thickest part of the middle portion of the food. So the thickest part of the middle portion of the food has to reach, the temperature has to reach in that area, in that core area, so that the temperature is got in all the surrounding places. It's not like that seeing a temperature at only in a gravy, watery thing is not a core temperature. Core temperature has to be seen in a thickest part of the food, middle portion of the thickest part of the food, not in the water. For example, you have a gravy, chicken gravy, you have a thermometer, you check in the, if you want to check the temperature, you have to check in the thickest part of the flesh, not in the gravy. You understand? So this is called core temperature, core food temperature. So if the core food temperature, as you tell, 75 is not reached, then food poison or the spoilage of food will happen. Worms in food, when the worms, you know, if you open cauliflower, seasonal foods like mango, capsicum, sometimes, majority of times, they will have worms. These worms, if it is not washed, if the vegetables are not washed with chlorine solution, chlorine water, or with hot water, these worms will go along with the food, and guest will catch it and ask us to collect. That will be the highest uncomfortable situation for us. Uncomfortable situation for us. And the guest calls and says that, sir, your food has worms. So will we feel happy or sad? Sad, Lama. Okay. Dusty top racks in store, you know, if they're not cleaned in the top of the racks, dust will be there. That means daily schedule are not taken care. If the daily schedule is not taken care, if the top of the racks are not cleaned, pest will start harboring on those places. If pest comes, they are also living beings, and they will start excrete. So this excretion will have microorganism, which if it gets into the food will again go spoil. Rancid smell in food, oil not changing next day, oil kept open overnight, new oil is mixed with old oil, overeating of oil. All these 4 points will lead to rancid smell of food. Have you anybody got this experience, rancidity? In day-to-day life, you know, when we eat food, you know, we should look the food, smell it, look for color and texture, and smell it for good or bad odor. If it is bad, if it is worst, if it is fully spoiled, it will smell very bad. And if it is, you know, starting spoiling, the main indication is rancidity. It may be due to spoilage or due to maybe because of the oil usage also. Okay. So rancidity is the main parameter in snacks industry. Like, you know, Haldiram's, Kurkure, Lays are coming na packet foods. Those are fried in oil. So when the oil is overheated or not properly handled, the food, the Lay's food or the Kurkure will start giving rancid smell. Even, you know, in buses they sell peanuts. You know, these people will never have the knowledge how to handle the oil. So when we take, you know, cashew or peanuts, you know, it will have some off taste. These are because of overusage of oil or improper method of keeping oil. The oil always should be kept closed. It should not be kept open, because it will take the oxygen from the atmosphere and oxidation will happen. Soon the oxidation happen, it will start giving smell. Even flour, maida, wheat also sometimes goes rancid. So fishy smell in water, does, you know, Mr. Binu was telling 3 method of washing sink. In that sink, if the soap or if the detergent is not used, chlorine is not used, hot water is not used, the smell of food, we are washing the equipment or glass or plates after the guest takes the food. It will go to the plate washing area where they will wash the plate using detergent, hot water, chlorine, and air, dry air. If this is not happening, if cleaning of the plates is not happening properly with using all these things, the plate will start spilling because of not removing of the previously consumed food which is sticking in the plate. Maybe to see the plate will be very clean, but technically speaking, technically speaking, the oil layer, maybe the food layer will be sticking still even after the washing. After drying for 2-3 hours, it will start smelling. So when customer take food, it may give a fishy smell in the water glass or in the plate, or may this will cause food poison. And using a same mixie jar for juice and making ginger garlic paste will cause smell of ginger garlic in a juice or milkshake. Blood smell in juice, ice stored in non-veg freezer. Ice cubes is used for putting in the juices. If this ice cube is stored along with non-veg, non-veg is, it's blood stained. Ice is like a ready to eat food. It has not got any washing procedure. It has got no eating procedure or no preservative procedure. It will be taken and directly put into the juice and it will serve to the customer. So when these ice cubes are stored with the non-veg freezer along with the non-veg, it will take the odor of the non-veg. See, remember one point. Whenever the food is stored along with any type of food, it will start absorbing the neighbor stored food. So if you see, for example, if you take a flower, jasmine flower, and put it in your fridge available in your house and see how the fridge smells, the food but whatever kept in the fridge or freezer, it will give the smell of the jasmine. Same thing, if the ice is put into the non-veg freezer, it will absorb the odor of the non-veg freezer, and when the guest drink juices, it will give the blood smell or fish smell or anything can happen to the chicken pieces in veg salad. Cutting board and knife color code not followed. Cut vegetables stored in non-veg freezer. Slimy layer in mixie, bottom of the mixie is not used. Black patches in exhaust hoods. Deep cleaning is not done. Deep cleaning is a method of sanitation which is recommended weekly once for all the equipments, for all the food contact places. Rust on reverse side of the cutting tables. Deep cleaning is not done. Foul smelling cloth, unwashed cloth. These are the reasons. I just want to tell you, chicken pieces in veg salad. Cutting board and knife color code are not followed. As somebody told, sir, cutting board veg taniya irukano, non-veg taniya irukano. If it is not followed, the person who handled knife or cutting board for chicken or mutton or fish, if the same person uses the same cutting board for cutting vegetables or making salad, the non-veg pieces will go into the salads. Cut vegetables stored in non-veg freezer. If after cutting salads, if it is stored inside the non-veg freezer, sometimes what happens, the non-veg pieces may fall in the cut vegetables and it may cause food spoilage and may customer get a bad experience. Hope I think I covered your troubleshooting manual. I just want to share my experience with you, saying that microbiology is not only laboratory work. It is something, we need to work along with the team present in the unit. So this is
Sir, I have a doubt, sir.
yeah, 10 more.
So in the core temperature, you have explained about cooked foods, right? Sir? So what is the core temperature for the uncooked foods, sir?
Any food, man. Any food. For example, if you are going and see, want to check a temperature of a food stored in a freezer. Okay. First you will be seeing the temperature indication, whether it is saying -10 or -18. Then what you will do is let me cross check that what is the food temperature, because this is showing -18. Let me check what is the actual food temperature. Uh, you will going inside the walk-in cold room, and you will pierce the thermometer, or may also use the uh, laser gun. But laser gun, is not recommended for core temperature things. It is for surface temperature monitoring only. But to see the core temperature, it may be a raw or cooked. It should always seen at the thickest part of the middle portion of the food. Good question.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
வேற யாராவது இருக்காங்களா? கேக்குறதுக்கு? No doubts? No doubts? No doubts?
No doubt, sir.
Shall we? எல்லாம் அந்த இது எழுதிட்டீங்களா? Have you written this food safety quiz? Have you wrote? I think you have all computed. நித்யஸ்ரீ முடிச்சிட்டீங்களா? Nityashree, have you completed? Whoever completed now, they will get the certificate. I think 8 people has completed.
சார் ஃபீட்பேக் ஃபார்ம் ஒன்று அமிச்சிங்க, அது வெறும் லிங்க் இந்த 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 கால் லிங்க் தான் வருது, அதுக்கு என்ன பண்றது?
கூகுள் லிங்க் அமிச்சிக்கலாம்.
ஜூம் லிங்க் தான் வருது சார், இது நீங்க அமிச்ச ஃபீட்பேக் ஃபார்ம்ல.
வாட்ஸ்அப் பண்ணிருக்கேன் பாருங்க குரூப்ல. Just open and see. You got it?
எஸ் சார், வந்துருச்சு.
All written now. The exam எழுதிட்டீங்களா? Have you wrote that exam? MCQ submit பண்ணியாச்சா?
No, sir. I'll have to do it, sir.
Okay.
அந்த குவிஸ் தானே சார்?
Yes.
பண்ணியாச்சு சார்.
பண்ணிட்டீங்களா? So first வந்து frozen, you know that -18. So second, it is C. Third, foodborne disease can cause death. A. But, keeping raw
இந்த
food.
ஃபீட்பேக் ஃபார்ம்ல சார் இந்த ஃபீட்பேக் ஃபார்ம்ல ட்ரெயினி ஐடின்னு ஒன்று கேட்குது. அது வந்து அந்த லாகின் ஐடி தானே சார்?
Login ID. Login ID நீங்க அந்த இது T-ன்னு வந்திருக்கு அதானே?
டி
Yeah,
சம்திங்
yeah,
வரும்.
yeah, correct. So
Okay,
and
sir.
unique student unique ID வந்து BCA COVID வரும்ல?
எஸ் சார், அதுதான். ஓகே சார்.
So fourth, keeping raw and cooked food separate. Is A. Fifth is B. Sixth is A. Seventh is B. Eighth is B. Ninth is B. Tenth is A. 11 B. 12 B. 13 A. 14 B. 15 A. 16 A. 17 A. 18 B. 19 B. எல்லாம் சப்மிட் பண்ணிட்டீங்களா? Once you submit, na, we will close the session. If you have any doubts also, you can ask. Once you complete, na, they'll find out. Jabran?
Sir,
Yeah, complete பண்ணிட்டியாப்பா?
sir, பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேன் sir.
Okay. யார் இருக்கா? Vashni has done it. Dinisha, Swati, Arun Kumar has finished. Vashni has finished. Gayatri, Haritra. Arun? Arun?
எஸ் சார்.
I think you have submitted, no?
ஃபீட்பேக்கும் முடிச்சிட்டேன் சார்.
முடிச்சிட்டீங்க. இது கொஸ்டின் சப்மிட் பண்ணிட்டீங்கல்ல?
முடிச்சிட்டேன் சார்.
You can leave the room, no problem.
ஓகே சார், தேங்க்யூ சார்.
Thank you. We'll be in touch, ma. So we'll have soon. We'll be going to have internal auditor course or HACCP courses we are planning. Once we plan, we'll let you know. Yeah, Arun Kumar, you can go.
ஓகே சார்.
Dinisha is there? Swati is there?
Yes, sir.
You have finished the quiz. You have finished the feedback
I
form.
finished the quiz, sir, but I'm doing my
Pardon?
feedback form. I'm doing my feedback form,
Yeah,
sir.
submit.
I
Once
finished the quiz. Okay.
feedback முடிச்சிட்டீங்கன்னா நீங்க you can leave it now.
Okay, sir.
Subhashni. Subhashni.
Sir,
Yeah. So you finish this quiz MCQ. Then you have finished the Google form feedback.
இல்ல சார் ஃபார்ம் ஃபில் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேன் சார்.
Fill பண்ணிட்டீங்கன்னா you can leave the room.
ஓகே சார்.
Sir,
Yeah. Submit பண்ணிட்டீங்களா? இல்ல.
sir, training ID என்ன சார் போட்டு?
Trainee ID.
Yes, sir.
TE அப்படின்னு ஒரு ஸ்டார்ட் ஆகும்ல. TE.
எங்க சார் வராது?
உங்களுக்கு அனுப்பிச்சிருக்கேன் சார்.
ஃபார்ம் இருக்கா சார்?
இருக்குல்ல?
ஓகே சார், ஓகே சார்.
Yeah. So Shalini Devi. Shalini Devi.
Sir,
You wrote MCQ and finished. Have you finished this feedback form?
sir,
Have you finished feedback form? Feedback form முடிச்சிட்டீங்களா?
I have completed MCQ, sir. Form fill பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேன் சார். feedback. No, sir.
Gayatri.
இல்ல சார், அது முடிக்கல சார்.
Gayatri. Not there. Haritra is there. Haritra TS.
Sir, I finished the form, sir. Feedback fill பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேன்.
Okay. Kausalya.
Sir, I finished the feedback form, sir.
Good. You can do Martin.
Okay,
Satya.
sir. Thank you.
Satya.
ஃபீட்பேக் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேன் சார்.
சார் ஃபீட்பேக் ஃபில் பண்ணிட்டேன் சார்.
Okay. சத்யாவா?
இல்ல நித்யா.
நித்யஸ்ரீ இல்ல நீங்க?
ஆமா சார்.
You are working, ma?
No sir, I am not working sir. I am a student sir.
Where? DJ Vaishnava.
MGR Janaki College sir, MSc.
Okay. Vidya student,
Yes sir.
Okay. Ma'am, let me சொல்லுங்க. ஃபார்ம் முடிச்சிங்களாமா? கூகுள் ஃபார்ம்.
அது இன்னும் முடிக்கல சார், தான் முடிக்கிறேன் சார்.
Sir, feedback form fill பண்ணிட்டேன் sir.
யாரு?
ஹரித்ரா.
யா. ஓகேமா. MCQ fill பண்ணிட்டீங்க, இது பண்ணிட்டீங்க. யா.
பண்ணிட்டேன் sir.
ஓகேமா.
Thank you
You
sir.
are Wales சொன்னீங்க?
Sir, என்ன sir?
You are studying Wales University?
DG Vaishnav College sir.
Okay.
Thank you sir.
சார் இது ட்ரைனிங் ஐடி என்ன சார் கொடுக்கணும்? ஆமா சார்.
இதுனா அது முதல்ல ன்னு சொல்லி ஸ்டார்ட் ஆகுதுங்க. யூசர் ஐடி பாஸ்வேர்ட் சொல்லி அனுப்புனேன்.
ஆமா சார்.
அதுதான்
சார் அது கொடுக்காம சப்மிட் பண்ணிட்டேன் சார் தெரியாம. சொல்லுங்க சார்.
சொல்றதுக்கு இல்ல. See whether I can edit.
சார் கேக்குதா சார்?
பார்க்கலாமா? நான் edit பண்ண முடியுமா?
சொல்லுங்க சார்.
ஃபீட்பேக் ஃபார்ம் தானே பண்ணிட்டீங்களா?
ஆமா சார். ஆமா சார். ஆமா சார்.
பண்ணலையே சார்.
சார் இப்பதான் சார் பண்ணேன்.
வரலமா?
அப்படியா சார்?
வரலமா? இல்லை ஐ திங்க் சார் ஃபில் பண்ணிட்டு சார்.
Sir, form fill பண்ணிட்டேன் sir and MCQ is also over sir.
Sure.
Yes sir.
Okay.
Sure.
You are there.
Thank you sir. Yes ma'am. Sir, I'm from Wales.
Sir,
சார் ஃபில் பண்ணிட்டு சார். சொல்லுங்க. யாரு?
சார் ஃபார்ம் ஃபில் பண்ணிட்டேன் சார்.
யாரு?
எம்சிக்யூவும் முடிஞ்சிச்சு சார்.
யாரு?
சார்
யார் பேசுறீங்க?
சுபாஷினி சார்.
ஓகேம்மா. ஓகே தேங்க்ஸ்.
ஓகே சார். தேங்க்யூ சார்.
ஃபில் பண்ணிட்டு சார்.
இன்னொரு வாட்டி ஃபில் பண்றீங்களா அதுக்கப்புறம்? ஃபீட்பேக் ஃபார்ம் தானே
சார்?
ஃபீட்பேக் ஃபார்ம் தானே?
ஆமா சார் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேன் சார். ஆமா சார்.
சரி ஓகே ஓகே ஓகே.
சார் என்னோட ஃபீட்பேக் ஃபார்ம் லாஸ்ட் வீக் சப்மிட் பண்ணதுக்கு முன்னாடி சப்மிட் ஆயிடுச்சு சார். ரிப்பீட் பண்ணவா இல்ல விட்டுவா சார்?
ரிப்பீட் பண்ணுங்க. ஃபீட்பேக் ஃபார்ம் தானே ரிப்பீட் பண்ணலாம். ஒண்ணும் பிரச்சனை இல்ல.
ஓகே சார். ஓகே ரிப்பீட் பண்ணிடுறேன் சார்.
நித்யஸ்ரீயா?
சரி சார்.
சார்
யா.
ரெண்டுமே ஃபில் பண்ணிட்டேன் சார்.
யார்மா?
சத்யா.
சத்யா. ஓகே மேம் தேங்க்ஸ். யூ ஆர் ஃப்ரம் பிஜி விஷ்ணுவா?
வேல்ஸ் யூனிவர்சிட்டி சார்.
Yes.
Yes
You
sir.
saw me that day when I came, correct?
Yes sir, I saw you.
சார் வசந்த் ஃபில் பண்ணிட்டு சார் ரெண்டுமே.
யார் பேசுறீங்க?
வசந்த்.
வசந்த் பண்ணிட்டீங்களா சார்?
எஸ் சார் வந்துச்சு சார்.
Which college was Vasant you are?
வேல்ஸ் சார். வேல்ஸ் யூனிவர்சிட்டி.
நாங்க வருவோம் பாத்தீங்களா நீங்க? இருந்தீங்களா?
பார்த்தேன் சார்.
ஓகே ஓகே.
எஸ் இருந்து சார். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ரோலே நான் சார்.
என்ன புரியல?
ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ரோலே நான் தான் சார் இருந்தேன்.
ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ரோல் நீங்க தான் இருந்தீங்களா?
எஸ் சார். எஸ் சார்.
ஓகே ஓகே ஓகே. சிரிச்சிட்டே இருந்தீங்களா அவரா?
சார்
சிரிச்சிட்டே இருந்தீங்களா அவரா ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ரோல்ல?
தெரியலையே சார். ரொம்பலாம் சிரிக்கல சார். ஆனா
நான் ஞாபகம் வச்ச வரைக்கும் சிரிச்சிருக்கேன் அவர்கிட்ட. அப்பனா பாத்துங்க.
நான் ரைட் கார்னர்ல உட்கார்ந்தேன் சார்.
கரெக்ட். கொஞ்சம் ஃபேட்டா இருப்பீங்க.
எஸ் சார். எஸ் சார்.
நீங்க தான் உங்களை தான் நான் எக்ஸாக்டா பண்ணேன். ஓகேமா
சார் ஃபில் பண்ணிட்டு வந்துச்சு அதுங்க.
யா என்ன வந்துருக்கா? வசந்த் ஃபீட்பேக் வந்துச்சு. This also வசந்த் வந்துச்சுமா?
ஓகே தேங்க்யூ சார்.
நல்லா பண்ணிருக்கீங்களா? MCQ
பண்ணிருக்கேன் சார்.
ஓகே தேங்க்ஸ். I request one thing. If you are இருப்பீங்களோ I will also put my the group April 12th batch fast track. Can you please rate my session in 1 to 10 scale? Just give me in WhatsApp itself. Okay. Hello.
Sir, feedback.
யாரு? Hello. Hello.
Sir, feedback resubmit பண்ணிட்டேன் sir.
Yeah. Okay ma.
Thank you sir.
நீங்க குரூப்ல இருக்கீங்க, வாட்ஸ்அப் குரூப்ல.
sir.
இப்போ என்னோட செஷன் நீங்க அட்டெண்ட் பண்ணீங்க இல்லையா?
எனக்கு இருக்கு.
ஹலோ.
ஹலோ.
என்னோட செஷன் அட்டெண்ட் பண்ணீங்களா? அது 1 to 10 ஸ்கேல்ல ரேட் பண்ணுங்க.
Okay sir. Thank you sir.
Thank you.
சார் குவிஸும் ஃபீட்பேக்கும் சப்மிட் பண்ணிட்டேன் சார்.
நித்யஸ்ரீ, ஓகே.